Hello, and happy Thursday to my dragon family. Araya here. Most of you know me, some of you don't. I am a psychic medium, energy healer, dragon master, and coach, and love to work one-on-one and in groups of people to guide them forward on their journey, especially for those that are awakening to their dragon connections. I do like to go live every week here, Thursdays in the afternoon, and just talk about different aspects about the dragons, answer questions. Sometimes we pull out a fun stop and do dragon readings. So hi, Teresa. Anyway, last week we had an amazing question, and I wanted to address it here. Hi, Suzanne. Yes, Suzanne, you made it. I did come on a little early, so I hope that helped. Mainly because I am actually taking a mini vacation this week, and so I've got these 4 days off. I happen to be in this lovely home of my brothers by Lake Tahoe, and so just wanted to come to you guys live because I was inspired anyway. And hi, Muriel. Bhupinder Singh, who has watched a lot of my lives since I started them just about a year ago. I started doing lives in April of last year through my Invoke Healing International channel or business page on Facebook. They're now all on YouTube. I do have a YouTube channel if you look me up or follow the links from the business page. But I started doing lives in November when this group was created and try to go every week. And so last week when Bhupinder asked this great question, is there a connection between angels and dragons? I thought, you know, you're not the only one wondering that. And it's come up before. I've talked a little bit about it in previous lives, but I wanted to address this whole live to it and answer questions as they come up. So I'm glad a few of you are on. I know there'll be lots watching the replay. And I think the first thing to start with is there's definitely a connection, and some of you might even experience having dragon wings and angel wings, because what is the experience? What are the different realms? So let's starting with the dragons. I have come to understand and know, and some of this information has been fairly recent even for me, probably in the last 6 or 8 months, of really, as I dive back into the dragons in a deep way, that this time on the planet there's even more energy and information surfacing. So I'm still learning and awakening things in my memories and my past that are helping me clarify so that I can bring that to you guys. And what I've come to understand and see is in the dragon realms, I've had memories of those realms. I've had memories and understanding of just like this universe and this setup with Earth and humanity and our spirit planes and our realms in the spirit planes where there's different dimensions of love, and each one you sort of graduate or elevate yourself to as you move into higher frequencies of love, is that when you reach a certain point, you can actually become at one with Mother, Father, God in a certain frequency, and that there are angelic realms at that point that you actually get your angel wings or go into what's considered the angelic aspect of that. And so in any universe, in any dimensional plane where there are beings, I do believe that that is the same hierarchy that Creator, Mother, Father, God is what I call it, designed all the universes to be very similar in that where there are hierarchies, and the highest hierarchies being the archangels. And so I do know and experience and remember, hi Annabelle, nice to see you, being or experiencing those angelic realms in the dragon planes. So angelic dragons, you might call them, those that have reached the highest elements of love. And I would say that most of the dragons in my experience are from that, because they were what I feel was one of the first creations of God, and so embodied most of that energy. All creatures have gone through different experiences of dropping into lower realms to experience those realms, but every experience I have with dragon carries that frequency. So just the varying levels of it. So that said, I've come to understand that, okay, in the dragon realms, there's this hierarchy. Well, we have the same thing in our realms. We've got this earth plane, we've got a human experience, our body passes, and our spirit form as human actually crosses into the spirit realm that's in this universe. And it goes through its hierarchical dimensions up to the angelic realms and the archangelic realms. And what I believe and understand is that at the 22nd octave or dimension, octaves and dimensions, I use those terms interchangeably, that at the 22nd and above, because some people experience dimensions or have access or have information come that things are vibrating at a certain dimension above that. That at the 22nd is where the first bridge is to 22nd octaves in other realms. So at that place, those archangelic realms can actually connect with each other and go between different universes and experience those and learn from each other and collaborate and share. And I do always feel the presence of archangels and dragons working with me together in collaboration. That even in the Dragonheart program that we're doing right now, the co-founders of it with me are Metatron and Gladrius, who is an incredibly loving dragon from a universe far beyond here. And so having these experiences, yes, not only is there a connection in how they're hierarchically created, but that they work together and collaborate together. And that I do believe it's possible for those that have had dragon experience where they've lived and been as a dragon, which many of you finding this group feel that experience, feel you're a Dragonheart or a Dragon Keeper or in dragon embodied, where you know that you come, that you're ancient, that you feel like you were here when the earth was created, that you have been part of this creation and this game, and yet you're so connected to dragons, you feel them so deeply that you come from those realms. So if you've come from those realms and you had experience in the angelic levels of that realm, and you come here as human and you have so many experiences as human, and you go through enough learning and growth in your own journey into love to go up into the spirit realms and the angelic realms and the archangelic realms of this plane, then wouldn't it be possible that you can experience having your angel wings and your dragon wings, and actually sitting and experiencing and choosing which one you're going to step in? And I know that even with my coach last year, when she would sit with me, and she's one of the top psychics in the country, a really amazing woman, and she would sit with me and see, and she was at a stage, she said, you have to really get clear right now in the work you're doing. Are you going to sit in your angel wings or your dragon wings? Or are you going to have one of each? Or are you going to, in every task that you do, tune into which you need to be focused on, which is bringing through the information and the frequency that is part of that task. And if you're anchored in both, then you will feel really grounded in each. And so just enjoying that. So I'm sorry, I'm getting a little interruption here, that I'm here with my family, of course, and asking my boys to keep themselves busy for the 10 or 15 minutes that I'm here with you guys, and that's hard for them because, mom's here on vacation and we got to connect with mom when mom can play with us, and so that's where I'm headed after this. So I know there's people on live. I love all the likes and the hearts, and I appreciate that. Does anyone have any questions? Feel free to type in as I'm talking about this, because even as I'm going here, I'm realizing that there's another aspect I need to talk about, and that's the seraphim. And I got a question. I had a dragon reading with a woman over in Europe who, her first question to me was, are these seraphim dragons? Are they connected? And to be honest, at the time, I didn't really know the term seraphim, sort of like cherubim, seraphim. I probably had it in the back of my mind somewhere, and it niggled at me. So I started Googling it and researching, and the seraphim are the highest level in the angelic realms. Am I clear that those are above archangels or that they are the archangels? No, I'm not. I don't work in that realm as much as in the dragons, so it's not super clear for me. But in sitting with her question, I've come to realize, Teresa, a half angel and half starseed, yet my higher self is a dragon, and I'm just trying to figure out how this all works out. Yeah, great question. Let me come back to that, Teresa, when I finish this on the seraphim. And I have seen posted elsewhere information that the seraphim are actually dragon. And seeing as the dragons are the one that actually set the universal matrices in place and have been holding them and been the gatekeepers for this universe all this time, that they're the ones, the 12 of the Council of Mu are the ones holding the planet plates in place. That it is Tiamat as dragon wrapped around Gaia, protecting her until humanity is a certain stage where she can actually ascend and have her light body come out and move into the next dimensional realm of the earth. That very potentially, maybe the seraphim is the highest level, and those were the dragons that came through because they're already at that vibration to anchor the planes within the spirit realms for this earth, that they would be filled with the humans who are going through and experiencing that maybe they anchored in and held, and it would make sense if they're holding the matrices of all of this universe, that they would also be holding the matrices in place by being up at the top realm of that, of the seraphim. So even as I talk it out, more of it's making sense to me. And that is one of the ways that I process and work things. So appreciate being here, listening to the theories and things unfold, because that's where sometimes the information gets really concrete for me. So half angel, half starseed. You know what, Teresa, you are not the only one that feels that. And what I take as starseed is those that, you know, all the energies come from the greater central sun, and they come to us through this hierarchy it's lined out in the diagram in the book, but it comes through Andromeda, and it comes down through Sirius, well, Nibiru, and Sirius, and the Pleiades, and the Orion star systems to actually reach us. So most people that feel their star seeds feel like they're connected to one of those three star systems. And I feel like part of that is because those that are dragon, who came through, because that's where the energy started and came through, and that's where they still come through to get to us, that all of that connection, in order to come here, I feel like many of us spent time, or even after anchoring the energies here as dragon, went back to understand those places, and have spent lifetimes and experiences in those realms on the different, and usually people are associated or feel most closely called or associated with one of those star systems, be it Pleiadian, Sirian, or Orion. But that there's a definite connection there. And like for me, I think I've come to understand that my deep connection to Orion is the silver dragon, and there are dragons in each of those. So there are actually dragons that are holding in place specific gateways in those for these frequencies and energies to get to us. And those are the Syrian A, B, and C dragons, Amarkan, Ashakan, American. The dragons, the silver, the gold, and the copper, who are holding Orion, for example. And that those, obviously they're going to have from, yes, I do come from Andromeda throughout Orion and the Pleiadians. Yes. So I think we just go and have experiences there, that we have a lot of connections there, that there's dragon family members there as well. And we make community. We make friends and experiences there. And I feel like sometimes those that feel they're a star seed or come from the stars are those that are actually maybe just dragons who are having a lot of experience in those star systems, so that they gain knowledge, so they understand the human form that has been created more deeply. And I know that's why we come and experience humanity. I have chosen to have a human experiences over many lifetimes, mainly because I want to understand and have compassion and empathy for the human experience. What is this journey really about? How dense of a plane do we drop into of forgetfulness, of absolute disconnection, of, you know, how many lifetimes have I been a warrior and a bloodless, you know, thirsty killer, and all the things that I've done to have that soul experience and work through the shadow and work through and come back to this place of light and love. And finding that balance and really understanding where much of humanity still is. And so being able to empathize and just love them and help them through their own shadow and help them wake up that spark within themselves. And knowing too that all of humanity has not had these experiences. That not everyone is going to connect to feeling they're a starseed. Not everyone is going to connect to feeling that they have a dragon aspect or an angelic aspect. But that those of us who do, I feel like, are the ones who volunteered, who came and said, you know what, I'm not predominantly human, but I have a role in this place, and I have a desire to help them because I love humans, and I love this planet Earth. It's one of the jewels of the universe and multiverses, actually. And I think there's only one more beautiful place that I've seen, and it's in my dreams when I go home. And it's a planet that has a purple sky and 3 suns. And that vision to me is as lovely, or maybe lovelier just because of my attachment to it, than this earth. But this earth is a jewel, and it's just one of the most beautiful, spectacular places. So many people wanted to come and, many beings wanted to come and experience this place. And that means that there are beings who are original soul incarnations created by God to be human, that this is their first experience as a being, that they in turn will be able to travel when they graduate to certain levels and experience other places. But that gives us an understanding of not all of them are going to get to our understanding. Not all of them are going to get to maybe an awakening or a connection to the things we talk about. It doesn't mean we can't interact and love them, but that we are actually here to do that and to help them just raise their vibration and get to a place of love for their own experience, for their own journey when they cross over into spirit and go into the spirit realms. So, hey Isabel, it's been a while, and I just missed, who else just popped on? So good to see you guys. Brigitte, nice to see you, or Brigitta. Anyway, so this is a pretty fascinating discussion. It's gone on to places I didn't really expect, so thanks for the questions and your comment there, Teresa, that led into the starseed aspect. Any other questions out there? I know some of you are just popping on, so you're going to have to catch the replay, but it's definitely a journey and an interesting unfolding when you're wrestling with these ideas inside yourself of how can they all coexist. How can there be this feeling of starseed and yet feeling of angel and now feeling of dragon, and how to, and the rainbow realms are starting to reveal. So people that are going to start having experience or knowing that I'm really connected to the unicorns or the Pegasus, or there are people that know they're fairy, that know they're part of the Devic kingdoms. And those are other realms that exist, and that's their primary incarnation. That's their primary soul experience. So maybe they're waking up to that, and all of us being free and willing to talk about our experiences helps them get there. And I know that all of this rainbow energy coming in is definitely taking all of us to a new level of opening, information coming to understand and bring it all together and integrate it. And I know that's part of my journey. And one of the reasons I'm really grateful to have 4 days off right now is we're in the second week of the Dragonheart program, and there are still a few people, there's 1 or 2 Dragonhearts out there that I'm still waiting to find me. So if you know them, or if this talking about the Dragonheart program triggers you, please message or email me. Because in the second week of class and the first week of individual session rounds, one-on-one, I gotta say that the people that are in it, it's been powerhouse. The information and the energies that have come through for each of them and the awarenesses has sort of blown me away and given me a whole bunch to integrate for myself. So not knowing ahead of time that would be, but planning because it's spring break for school, that this would be our little 4-day sojourn with my kids at the end. I'm really grateful that Spirit helped me design that, because I am ready for some downtime, some deep sleeping. In fact, looking at myself today, I'm like, wow, I look really tired, which is funny because I actually got a solid 9 to 10 hours of sleep last night for the first time in ages. So it's funny because once you start getting sleep, I know with children, sleep begets sleep. So if you get them finally sleeping more, they want more. And I know my body wants more. I just want to go lie on the couch and do nothing. So thank you guys so much for being here today. Finishing off on that Dragonheart thought, please message me if it's called you, because it's not too late to jump in. You have probably been feeling the energies of the opening ceremony on the 21st and the 2 first classes the last 2 weeks in a row. On the 27th and the 3rd, and there's so much more to come in 9 months of journey together. I'm really excited about it. It does mean too that there's other programs starting to come into vision of the next thing to offer for those that aren't ready for the Dragonheart, that are part of a smaller program and really need to just dive forward. And I am still doing dragon readings and one-on-ones and 12-week programs, so if you've been feeling you need work, please contact me. And I hope that this was enlightening for you. If I missed any aspects of questions you might have about the angelic dragon connection, please post it in the comments, and I will definitely be looking at and responding to them. So always love when you guys are here. Thank you for being here with me. It always touches my heart when people show up, and I can interact in this way with you guys. It really brings me a lot of joy. So have a fabulous weekend, and we will see you next week live right here. Bye, dragons.